Hi, how you doing? My name is JaWuan James, and I'm here to talk to you today about identity theft and ways you can prevent it and you can stay away from it because our time and our generation right now is all technology. It's all computers, and a lot of older people who don't know how to use these computers, know how to use them safely. They have problems, and those are the main targeted people when it comes to identity theft. So I'm just here to give you a couple pointers and tips on how you can better yourself and prevent yourself from being someone who has their identity taken. Now I want to talk to you and show you a graph that I got from cybercrime.com, and it shows you the different, most common identity theft, ways, and also it shows you the percentage in which, those happen, what occurs more and what occurs less. As you can see in this picture right here, it shows the pie graph I was talking about with the different percentages. And it starts with other down there with 1%, to access insurance accounts 2%, to access internet accounts, things like your Twitters, Facebook, that's sitting there at 4%. Telephone accounts, it's 10%. 19% is the bank accounts. You see it rises when it comes to money and things like that. 4% is to take loans for real estate and things like that. But the biggest one is credit card accounts, and that's 80%. And it shows at the bottom, in 20% of these cases, the information was used to open new accounts using the victim's name. So basically, guys are using names to make credit card accounts. Just a swipe a card, put the name on that card so it can be in use, and never be able to be tracked by it. And you can do that by obtaining people's social security number and things like that. So you need to be careful, and here's a great example. I feel like the cybercrime polygraph did a good job, explaining things. And now that I've educated you on it a little bit better, ways you can have your identity taken. I want to show you a couple ways you can prevent it, just a couple ways to help you, and especially older people. Like I said, this is a new generation with computers, and are sites secure, or they don't know things like that, or how to save this and how not to do this and that. So I just want to educate you a little more on what to do now to prevent yourself from being one of these people. And I've read there's over 9.9 million people who's ever had their identity taken. That's tremendous. That's a lot of loss of money. That can't get back. That's a lot of heartache, a lot of time where you could have prevented yourself from being in that situation. So I'm going to show you now a couple ways and a couple tips. You can save yourself some time and some heartache from having your identity taken. The first tip I want to give you is to always guard and secure your social security number, PIN numbers, account numbers, anything like that, because your social security number is strong, as everybody should know. If you're filling out an application or you're filling out something for a student ID or a photo ID, and they ask you for, your social security number, you should ask them, please don't have it printed on that. Because if you lose something like that, it could be terrible for you. That's the quickest way somebody can steal your identity, create these credit cards and create accounts and things like that to be able to take your identity. All they need is those few numbers. And when it comes to account numbers, all of us have trash and all of us have mail. We just throw mail in the trash. You should try to, shred stuff more. Just be careful, tear some papers up once you get it. Because if someone gets a hold of that account number or routing number, anything like that, they can change a lot of things. And, I believe they even have social security numbers on some people's uh, account information, on files and mail like that. So just keep everything like that close. Keep it shredded if it's mail. If you're gonna throw it away, shred it. If you're gonna keep it, file it somewhere in your house. And also don't have all your stuff in one place. If you're walking around with your social security card in your wallet, walk around with your credit card in your wallet, all that, you can keep some of those things at home. You don't necessarily need those on an everyday basis. So if you could just hold on to that, then it'll make it easier not having it all in one place just in case you lose everything. My next tip is about technology and computers. Be safe when you're on computers. Don't use and share a lot of the same computers unless you're sharing it with your family. You don't want to go to a public library or a public place in a public computer and, do important stuff that involves your social security number, that involves your, passwords or anything like that, because that's just unsafe. And if everybody's sharing the same information, somebody could easily go back in time on that computer, or you might have left a window open or something like that, and they can get your information that way. Also, I want to talk to you about secure networks and secure websites to share information like that on. A lot of people get caught in scams because they, believe in this website. They see the advertising pop-ups, but you really can tell if a website is secure or not by certain things on the web page when you're looking. As you can see right here, here's one of these secure networks I'm talking about. First of all, you see circled up top, it says HTTPS. That just lets that's a real website, no scam, anything like that. And also, if you look to the bottom circled next to internet, there's a little lock key. That makes sure your privacy is showing, and it's showing that it's a secure site. And Bank of America is a very trusted site. Also, with technology and computers, besides websites and information like that, you can get in trouble or get your identity taken with like Facebook and Twitter and things of that nature. Your social media, people can terrorize your friends or something like that, or go on there and say something outrageous, and have your character questioned, or have your brand questioned. And they preach that a lot to me, and what I do with the football team and things like that. Keep your stuff secure because you have so many people that follow you and so many people that look at what you say. If someone gets on there and says the wrong thing, your whole brand, your whole character could be questioned and tested. So really, you just want to not have, the same passwords for everything. That's what I would say. I got caught like that one time. I had my same password for my emails account. I had two emails account. My Facebook got hacked into. It's because I all had the same password. Once they find out one, they'll try to, get all your other ones. So I just say don't have the same password for everything, and also keep your passcode secure. People like to tell their girlfriends and boyfriends, so they can trust each other. Like, hey, here's my password. You can look at my stuff. Well, I don't care. But really, I wouldn't tell anybody. I keep all that stuff to myself, just so you can be secure, because you never know. The last tip I want to give you, and I feel like the most common, when it comes to somebody having their identity stolen, when it comes to bank accounts and things like that, is just being careful at the ATM. A lot of times people go to ATMs where the card goes in. You don't just bam bam real quick. It stays in there and it gives you it back at the end. Some people forget and leave it. Also be aware of the people around you. Make sure nobody's looking over your shoulder trying to figure out what your PIN is, because they get that. All they need is that card, and they can start just swiping, 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 and spending. And the most common mistake I think people do is they're in a rush. We're going to the ATM. I need money fast, and they forget the receipt. That receipt has a lot of information on it. It has your name, has your account number, how much balance is left in your account sometimes, and the person behind you can pick that up. And all they like I said, all they need is a little bit just to get started. They just need a name and they just need an account number so they can reproduce new cards. They have the technology to do that now. A lot of people have ways of scamming. You can swipe your card on a machine, and then they can swipe your card on like a hotel card machine. All they need is that barcode, that little black strip on your card, and they can turn that into anything. They can turn that into a credit card. They can turn that, and it'll all be on your name. You'll never know, and then you'll find out, and it'll be too late. So, really, just wanted to make this video to show everybody the tips. They can be precautious, but it can happen to any of us. Don't be naive. Don't think it's not going to happen to you, because it happens to many Americans every day. It's happened to myself. Not to that extent. Money wise, but just on a personal level with social media and things like that. So just be careful and just be smart. And I hope this helped you.